Hey there, home learning heroes. Welcome back again. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about pollution. Now, we've been talking about pollution before, so you probably know the word. Pollution is all the things we make that we throw away. And when we throw it into our environment or where we live, that is called pollution. So we're going to talk about what we can do about that today. And as you can see on the cover here, I have a question to start us off with. So let's read the question together. How does this picture make you feel? Why? So take a look at this big picture right here. I think it's from Hong Kong. I have a bulldozer pushing all of this garbage, this rubbish. So how does that make you feel? Does it bring happiness to your heart? Or is it a little bit smelly and dirty and yucky and make you feel sad? You tell me. Think about why you would feel. Would you want to live in this environment? Do you think it would be fun to live on this big pile of rubbish? Where did it all come from? Is that one person? Did they make all that? All right, so now that you've had a chance to think a little bit about this picture, we're going to talk more about what it means. And let's see. Another question here. Let's read at the top. What happens when there is too much rubbish? Too much is more than we can handle. And you can see in the picture we have a circle. Looks kind of like a planet. Maybe the planet we live on. And one side of the planet is nice. It has birds and trees and giraffes and beautiful weather. And then on the other side, it's dark and dirty and polluted. So the question is, which side of the world do you want to live on? And what happens if we make too much rubbish and we throw it in our environment and we don't know how to clean it up? We're going to talk a little bit about how to fix our problem of rubbish, which is a big problem. Look at this mess. I hope this wasn't from your picnic. I see we have these bins over here, and they are heaving. They are full to the top, and so much that it's all spilled out onto the ground. Now that's not very good for our environment. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. So what do we do with it all? Do we dig a big hole and dump it in? Well, there's something called recycling, which we've been talking about for this unit. So to recycle something is to take something we've already made and turn it back into another thing. So we're going to recycle these things. And we can look at things that we can recycle. Like down here, it says a big arrow. What is this? And I see right here, it's an empty water bottle. So there used to be water inside. Somebody had all the water, drank it all up, and threw it in this pile. But what can we do with that water bottle? Do you think that there's something that some place we can take it to or put it where we can make use of it again? Let's look. A plastic bottle. You read it with me. A plastic bottle. Now we have lots of these. We buy them, we use them way too much. And what do you do with them after you've finished? Let's look at another thing from this big pile of rubbish. We have over here, it's circled, my picture's in the way, right here. It looks like a plastic bag, a shopping bag maybe, a bag that we use when we go to the store. Now that's just thrown in the pile, but maybe we can do something with it. Let's see what that is. Plastic bags. We used to use a lot of these. We don't so much anymore. Plastic bags are made of plastic. All right, one more thing here. I'll move my picture. What is this? Somebody was reading it, and you can buy them and read what's happening in the world. Newspaper. A newspaper is made of trees, which is where paper comes from. And after you're done with it, do you just throw it in the big pile? Newspaper. We use a lot of these, or used to. So, other things that you might find in the pile, cardboard boxes. If you have things delivered to your home, or maybe you pick up some fruit, they come in cardboard boxes, which is like a really thick paper. Now another set of materials here, metal. Metal comes from the earth, and we dig it up, and we use big fires to melt it, and we have different kinds of metal, like a tin. This is a can that maybe vegetables come in, or soup. It's called a tin. Some of these that we use for soda is aluminum, that's a metal, and we call that a can. And then finally, maybe you take this to your picnic, or maybe your desserts come in it, and this is a metal box. All of these are made of metal. Metal comes from the earth, and instead of throwing them away, maybe we can do something with them. This is what you can have, but be careful not to drop it. A glass bottle. Glass is also made from sand, and glass is used a lot for different kinds of liquids. Paper plates. Now there's a rubbish bin. That's where we can throw the rubbish that we don't use anymore. But think about all the things we've talked about today. They're not all rubbish, because anything you throw in there just gets thrown into a big hole. So a rubbish bin is really only for things that can't be reused or recycled. So here's what we have. Going green. If we just throw everything in the rubbish bin, this is what it looks like. Boom. It's a big mess. But if we can start recycling, a lot of that stuff can come back and we can reuse it. So after, maybe it just looks like this. Here are your recycle bins. I'll move my picture down again. Recycling bins. Let's read it again. Recycling bins. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major main recyclings that we do. Let's look at the one with the green top. You can see the color green here on the top, and that is for glass. And then we have one with the brown, and we look at that, and it's for plastics. Now, we talked about plastics, like shopping bags were plastics, and those water bottles are also plastic. Up here is the yellow top, and that one says metals. Do you remember the different things we can recycle of metal that we use in our house? Tin cans, aluminum cans, soda cans, and lunch boxes. And then finally up here in the blue top, we have paper, waste paper. Now, paper can be used for a lot of things. Paper comes from trees, and we can make it back into new paper once it's made. Paper plates, and maybe some drawing or schoolwork paper, and also cardboard's a good one to recycle. So these are where, instead of going into the big hole, you have these bins to put them in. And then they get changed back into a new product. So let's read them again. We have glass, plastics, metal, and waste paper. So if you have these in your garbage, don't put them there. Put them in the recycling bin. So here's your little quiz. Tell me, which of these things do we put and where do we put them? First, right here, what do we have? What's this called? Newspaper. And newspaper goes into the blue bin for waste paper. Okay, now we have a glass bottle, and a glass bottle goes where? Into the green for glass. And then over here we have our water bottle that we looked at before. Water bottle is made of plastic, so we put it in the the brown bin, and that's for plastics like shopping bags. And then finally we have this metal container which goes into the yellow for metal things. Remember, soda cans are a great one to recycle. All right, guys, that's the end of this one. Come back again and we'll look at more ways to recycle. Bye-bye.